I gotta tell you something I could do. I could be running around chasing you, but I won't. Cause I got better things to do. Rather spend my precious time chasing somebody who loves me too. If I got $1 for every time you slam the door, I would be the richest girl alive. If you hadn't run away every time I asked you stay, you would sleep right next to me tonight. When you didn't know me, all you wanted was a game to play, and you couldn't handle that I had no ways. Around your magic and your side chicks, I'm a winner, babe. And you didn't win this, it's a part of the game. In the beginning, I just didn't know that you're an enemy I held too close. Now I know, cause you did everything to prove me wrong. You were not the guy I thought. Now I'm beating you at your... Every time I asked you stay.
Hello.
How
Hi,
are
guys.
you?
Wow. We are here again.
How's it going?
Good. How are you? How's everybody doing, man? Gosh, it feels like it's been for ages.
It feels like that. It does. It really does.
Nah, it hasn't. Okay, let's get to it. Well, I wasn't at the last one, so I should hopefully be the one saying that, but I'm not saying it. So, guys,
Yeah, see, you should feel it more.
Exactly.
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't at the last one, but I'm here
yes,
today.
What's your excuse? Tell them your reason why. What is your excuse?
I was present alone.
Yes, somebody.
So long. I had a physical presence.
Yes. Which was so crazy.
To everybody who may have missed me, but we're here today. I mean, that was a while ago, so everybody's probably forgotten. But you guys
no one's going to forget you.
Exactly.
All right, so we're here again for a wonderful session of Girls Say It. Hasn't it been a pleasure to serve you guys since last year? We've been almost 1 year soon.
Oh my gosh.
We've got an anniversary coming up.
Yeah, but we've been consistent, we've been consistent, and we've been serving you with what we feel is real life topics, things that don't necessarily get spoken about that enough, that is. And each time we put our heads together and we think, what should we talk about next? And today we have, like I said, it's going to be a quick one for us. We've got 1 hour with you. We know that the weather is great. We know that you're tuning in from different areas, different postcodes, and we don't want to hold you here for too long. We want to get straight into our topic, which is about Botched. BBL. It's been long pending. So, guys, please go ahead and share. Tag somebody that likes to come on here and likes to be late. Tag a fan, because if they're late, then they're gonna miss. You need to tag people that need to hear about this.
We got something today.
People that have been talking about BBL, people that have been talking about plastic surgery, people that have been seeing it being trending about waist snatching and losing excessive weight miraculously somehow. Everybody's been wondering for a little while now what's going on out there. It's trending. Is it is anything wrong with me changing my body? Of course. Well, we'll get down to that with your opinions and stuff.
Always touchy, that subject is.
Tag someone that needs to hear about it. Tag a man, a woman, whatever. It's not just applicable to women, it's men as well. We know what we do, your bald heads and your noses.
yeah. It's both ways, isn't it? It's not just women.
Going on with this Botched. Now, we know that there's surgery out there that is being done, and some of it looks fantastic. Some of it looks really literally like a botched job. So
Yes.
share,
Botchered.
tag someone. Let's talk about this, that we know that this is one of the topics that everybody talks behind closed doors or to each other, especially if you know somebody that's had it, maybe, so to speak, or you see what's going on social media and you're like, how did that person get from that body to that body? And you're like, okay, maybe I need to go and work out a bit more. What's going on? Maybe I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And you really, what they've gone and done is done a surgery, you know, but we want to discuss this all today. So guys, please share, please tag somebody. It's going to get interesting. And like I said, we've only got an hour, so if you're late, oh sorry.
Yeah, that's just it.
Yeah,
Gonna have to catch the
that's just
replay.
it.
Catch the replay.
Exactly. Okay. By all means, catch the replay. So yes, tag, my Americans, tag, UK people, tag.
Tag and
Europeans,
share
wherever
and
you're
share.
tuning in, share and tag. Please.
Hi everyone,
Support us, you
Audrey,
love us.
Ingrid,
Tag.
Caroline, Gordon, Sega, Bekele. I hope I pronounced your name properly. Good to have you on the show today. And for the very many more that are watching, as Lady T said, wherever you are tuning in from, we are so happy to have you today. Now, for those of you that have joined us before, you guys know how we get down. There's no filter. I mean, we're respectful, but there's still no filter, you dig? You know, so
that's right.
So we are gonna come with our opinions. Most of it will be our opinions, of course. Part of the reason why we do gather on days like today is just so that we, or people like us and people who love to share their opinions and want to discuss, have a platform to do so. We're not just restricted into our living rooms or just people that we know, but we have the whole world to converse with, guys. So really take advantage of this opportunity, you know? This is time for y'all to sit down and just tell it exactly how it is. As Lady T said, the show is called Botchered. So more of what we're referring to is not just plastic surgery or BBL, but what we're talking about specifically are the ones that have gone wrong. And when we say wrong, we don't just mean a little bit of here and now, we mean horribly wrong. Like there are some real horror stories out there that is not even a plaything. Now, a bit of a disclaimer before I let Lady T continue. We do not intend to body shame anybody. That is not what we're here to do at all. We're simply going to talk about experiences that other people have made us aware of. So their own experiences that they have shared or made us aware of. Now, there will be some pictures. Warning. There will be some pictures. So if you have children under the age of a certain age, 18, 16, 12, whatever you think is the limit, please do not allow them to watch the whole of this video or certain parts, whichever ones you are comfortable with. You know, I guess that's okay. But again, the discretion is there. So please do be careful. We do have some images that we will be showing you. Some of them will be peak out in these streets and some of them will be manageable. So just that warning there. We will let you know when there are some interesting pics coming up, just to let you know. So over to you, Lady Tizzle.
Let's do this. So I've put in a few pointers that we're going to discuss today. And I think one of the icebreakers will be actually to discuss, ladies, like why is it that people feel the need to actually have surgery done? So like I said, we know it's trending, we know it's a thing now, and it's becoming more rampant than ever. So I guess people have gone and they've done their research and they've seen where they can get it done, be it in this country, be it abroad. Turkey, one of the most popular places, by the way, but we'll talk about that later. But yeah, why do ladies think or feel that ladies feel, especially women, I think it's more pressure on women that feel that they have to go ahead and have surgery? Is it a case of not necessarily loving their bodies or not being comfortable in their bodies anymore? Is it a case of they've been seeing particular shapes that they aspire to look like? Like, what do you think is really going on? Because it is trending. I was watching something today and it was saying that there's literally it's like a machine bank that's just dishing out women, and everybody's waist is being just trimlined, and people are just looking the same. Women are looking the same. Like there's so much beautiful women that are doing so much with their bodies out there now. And let's face it, they do look attractive. Now, what is the reason? Are they doing it for themselves? Are they doing it because maybe they're trying to look for a man? Are they trying to snatch a man? Are they doing it to feel better? What is it often? What do you feel is often the common reasons why people, you know, are having this huge surge or desire to go and have surgery done? You know, is it for the gram? Because I think social media is obviously becoming a big thing
certainly
right
doesn't
now,
help.
and it's all about images and looking good. Is it, somebody said, insecurity, and I think that's quite a big one that's going on there. Why are people not more comfortable with their regular natural look? Come on. So what do you have to say about that, ladies?
Yeah, you know, it's really quite, it's quite sad. I don't think that having surgery is sad, because you never know when it might be needed. You know, for example, you have women who have, I'm going a little bit off topic, but there are some women who, for example, have a bigger chest, and some of them want to get it reduced. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. There are individuals that are born with noses that makes it difficult for them to breathe with. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So, you know, surgery in itself is not the problem here, but I think there's a key word that Caroline Gordon mentioned, and that is insecurity. This is just my own personal opinion. I can't paint everyone with the same brush, but what I would say about insecurity, and that being one of the biggest reasons, is that regardless of how small the insecurity is, the fact that it's there and the fact that it uses up a certain amount of your energy, certain amount of your thinking, your life, you know, it's that certain amount of, regardless of how small it is, can account for something and can make you do even the smallest amount of things. So even if it's just from, I don't know, getting a little bit of Botox, or changing a level of your makeup even, or you know, getting some sort of different hairstyle. You know, sometimes we change our hairstyles simply because of insecurities, but going straight into cosmetic surgery, I think one of the key reasons, as I said, is the insecurity, is insecurity, definitely. But it's not just feeling not okay one day, or not feeling maybe I don't look as good. You know, it's not a simple level of insecurity, more is what I want to say. It's a bigger level. It's about comparing yourself to other people and wanting to look like something that you've seen somewhere. That's where I would link insecurity with cosmetic surgery, particularly the excessive ones, because you have women and men out there who are not just trying to have corrective surgery. Some people are, and it goes wrong. But for others, they are trying to enhance themselves in one way or another. And this is the one that I'm particularly concerned about. This is the one that, me personally, I link closely with insecurity, you know, because just to get enhancements and, you know, get bigger and bigger chest, bigger hips, bigger this and bigger that, smaller this and smaller that, to me, that level of insecurity is just, it's hard for me to understand. But yeah, I'll pass it on.
Yes.
Yeah, I like the fact that you touched on insecurity. That's a big one. And I think the bigger issue is, where does this insecurity come from? Because yeah, there's one thing having insecurity, but where is it actually coming from? And I think what comes to mind for me is, you know, we do live in a society that is run by the media. Most of what we see, what we hear, you know, is pushed out there by the media. And so, you know, what is the media actually doing when it comes to, you know, pushing a certain narrative or perception of beauty? It's, you know, you can see it time and time again, where there's a particular idea of what is perceived as beautiful nowadays.
I think that's
and I have to say that, you know, a lot of it is to do with these social influencers, celebrities. You know, it's something that is a trending topic. You know, what's Kim Kardashian doing? Who's the most beautiful woman in the world? So they have those magazines that count down to the most beautiful woman in the world, and 9 times out of 10, it's not a woman that's of an, you know, that has an African type of feature, or, you know, it's usually a Eurocentric idea of what beauty is, minus the body, I should say, the body shape. So the idea of beauty that's being painted now is for you to have a Eurocentric face, but the body is Afrocentric. So you know that's the idea that's being pushed out now, and I think there's a lot of pressure, as I said, from the media that pushes that narrative that a beautiful woman, more or less, should look like this. I think it's that's where the pressure is coming from. We idealize celebrity, and most of your celebrities are, you know, they're not natural looking, to be honest. They're made to look like almost goddess-like or godlike, you know, perfect, chiseled bodies, voluptuous figures. And so, because we're a society that is influenced so greatly by the media, it's, you know, it's a no-brainer that when it comes to the idea of beauty, that we're going to be influenced by that standard as well, you know.
Yeah.
And of course, just to add as well, the biggest industries in the world are the hair and beauty industries, you know, and that's not just talking about just makeup, but in itself that includes, because makeup now includes minor levels of surgery. For example, Botox, you can get that done at some of your local pharmacies nowadays. You don't have to go to specific beautician, you know, to get some of these things. I know it's beauticians that would usually administer them, but you don't have to go to a building that specializes only in things that concern beauty. You can go to pharmacies nowadays, and they will, in some pharmacies rather, and they will do that for you. So this industry of beauty has expanded so much beyond just makeup, just beyond hair, but now we're involved in all sorts. It's actually quite scary, you know. And just to add as well, there always has kind of been this pressure on women to look beautiful, you know. Even in some religions, part of what entices women into wanting to get into heaven is the fact that they won't have the kind of skin or blemishes and things like that they have on this earth. And it's nice to know that, but you would even think to yourself, should that be one of the criteria of wanting, of what will help you enjoy heaven, if that makes sense? Like, it's almost made women look quite shallow and so concerned with what they look like that, you know, as we go from generation to generation, the obsession of wanting to look a certain way is just becoming crazy, I would say, before we go into deep levels discussion today. It's really bad. And like I've said, we will see in the pics, it does get really quite mind-blowing.
Yes, thank you, ladies. And even before we even go into some of those pictures, you know, moving quite swiftly, before we go to some of those pictures and show you some examples, I had one of the other points at the top, because I think it's relevant to where we're going already and with some of the points that you've raised. And one of those things is actually your personal belief. Now, right now, I just asked you about why you feel some people are doing it, and you gave some fantastic reasons. You know, one of them being, which is quite rightly so, the pressures that women have to look a certain way. And social media doesn't help anymore, because now that's the biggest carrier of news and what's trending. And what people see as images is what actually feeds into their spirit and their soul, man. And if you keep seeing things constantly, whether you like it or not, it sometimes tends to overtake you unless you're in some serious self-control of yourself, and obviously being confident in who you are and what you believe in. If you stand firm, you won't be swayed. But some people will be swayed because we're swayed by what we see. It's just, that's just what we are. We're physical beings. Men, they often say, are very physical, but women are physical on their own as well. And there was that notion of men being physical, you know, liking to see women in a certain way. And I feel like that notion is now spreading on women. Women now want to see themselves in a certain way. Some are actually doing it for themselves. Some are probably doing it because of others, you know, because they want the way they want to be received by others, the general public. That attention that comes with putting a post up and saying, oh, look at my body now, and everyone's saying, wow, you look great, you look fantastic. And you know, the deception, which I'm going to come to later on, is that sometimes, you know, people say they haven't, and it's all great that surgery is also there as a good thing, but it's another thing when you say that, oh, I look great because I went to the gym, I look fantastic because I did a diet and I did a gym and I got a snapback body, but really and truly that's not what you did. And you're not going to be, so you're not going to come out and tell people truly what you did, you know, because if really and truly you don't see anything wrong with it, why don't you just say, I had surgery, this is me, bam, my decision, my choice, and I look great in the way I feel. But no, most people like to hide behind the shell.
I was just going to add that I think, you know, specifically in the Black community or the ethnic minority community, I think plastic surgery is still a bit of a taboo, which is why you will find that a lot of our social media influencers or celebrities don't tend to endorse it, because it's still sort of taboo in our communities. I'm not sure why that is, but I find that, you know, in the more European communities, they're more open about these things. And, you know, you have I've heard a couple of my colleagues who are, you know, Western, and they're saying, you know, I went to go and get Botox the other day, and I went to get lip fillers and stuff, and it seemed like it's a normal thing, like they just went down the shop to buy a loaf of bread. Whereas you don't really hear our sisters, you know, or brothers saying, oh, you know what, I went to go and get a BBL and stuff. It's almost like the only reason, or the only way they do end up saying it, is if they've been kind of caught out or pressured into saying it. But it's not something that's necessarily endorsed or encouraged in our society. Or what do you think?
Yeah.
That's what I've come. It might be different, but from your perspective.
I mean, you are kind of right, and you're right. It's not really encouraged so much in our society, but the way the world is moving now is like people are coming out, and they're trying to, you know, people are trying to step up and be different and be like, you know what, this is me, this is who I am. People are trying to step out and be more public, more outspoken, not oppressed by what people think or feel, and be like, this is me, this is who I am, and that's all great. But it'd be nice if they did it in the area. I mean, the majority did it for the right reasons, like what we're discussing now, saying that this is who I am. I have done this surgery. This is not my snapback body. But I feel a lot of people are not doing that because you're deception. Right. Part of it is deception, and I think a huge part of it is deception because the way they want people to look at them, they want to feel like, wow, you got this naturally. You know, because there's more of a wow factor when you've done it naturally as opposed to when you've done it surgically.
I think you get more credit and kudos. You know what I mean? When you've done it naturally. Yeah.
Because they know it's hard work. They know it's hard work, really deep.
But you know, I don't know. I'm gonna be a bit different and say that I disagree. I disagree because, I mean, if you had asked me maybe 5 years ago, I would say yes. Within the BAME communities, that it's a bit, people are still not really owning up to it or doing it. But I would say it right now that it's kind of across the board, that there are a lot of Black Asian people that I don't know so much about Asian, to be honest. I haven't seen much. I think the only person I've heard that's Asian that has done surgery, and I don't know if they owned up to it, is Priyanka Chopra, I think. She's the only one that I've heard that has done surgery. But as far as the Black community is concerned, in the UK, America, Africa, wherever you want to, we're everywhere, you know. I think that there is this look that people are going for, and particularly around the bum area, which there was a time when a lot of Black, African, Caribbean, whatever you want to call them, Black people, you know, were very proud of their big bums, if you like. Not everyone has a big bum, but, you know, it was associated with being Black at a time, you know. So they would say things like, oh, you know, we don't need to get surgery because we have it naturally, you know, or we don't need to do this because we have the lips naturally. But the truth is, there are more of us getting surgery done. And I wouldn't say that there are more of us getting it done and we're being more open with it. I would say that we're getting it done and it's being done to an obvious state where people can't even deny that they've had surgery, to be fair, like to a point where even the men are getting it done. And I don't just mean the trans men or men that are homosexual or of another gender, not to knock anybody, but, you know, everyone's getting it done, whether you're Black, white, Asian or whatever. A lot of people are getting, and someone just said it in the comments, South Korean people, you know, you can go there and get like mad stuff done, and it you know, but the transformation is so much, and sometimes it's so overly enhanced that you can't deny it. So even if you're from a culture where you're not used to talking about it so normally, you can't even deny it, because the size of your bombastic buttocks compared to your thighs, it's out of this world. Like, look at Cardi B, for example. She doesn't look natural, but if she tried to say that, you know, oh, I didn't get any work done, of course you got work done. Stop lying. Like, and look at the Kardashians, for example. You can tell they got work done. I mean, they look like, and this is no offense. It might come out in an offensive way. I don't mean to be offensive. I'm just trying to paint a picture here. Are they called minotaurs? I don't know. You know, the mixture between a human and a horse. And they've got like the human body at the top. They've got the human body at the top and the horse figure at the bottom. And the horse figure is like so like vastly different and huge to their top, like because of the size of everything. That is almost what things are starting to look like now, as in the standard for a good body, not a normal body, not a beautiful body, not a unique body, the standards for a good body are crazy now. And like you mentioned, the people, the influencers that go online and present these bodies as their natural bodies, the reason they're doing that, in my opinion, is a hustle. They are hustling people out there. They're hustling. They're trying to hustle you. They're trying to hustle me. They definitely ain't hustling me. They're trying to hustle me. Let me just put that out there now, because I see you lot. I see you lot. Your bodies are not natural. The majority of you. You're photoshopping your pics. You're saying that it took you 2 months or 6 months to become this way, when we can see that 6 months ago you were still that same size. So how can you tell me that it took you 2 months to get to that? It took you 2 months to get to that, but 6 months ago you were still that size. So sorry, what do you mean? You've been that size for a while. Don't lie and say it took you 6 months, because when we go through your pics, we can see your journey, the pictures that you forgot about in the past. We can see them. And also the waist trainer people out there, tell the truth. Some of you have had surgery and then you now put that waist trainer on. Stop trying to hustle people like that. It ain't right. It is not right at all. You know, it is really, really bad, mind. And the other one that gets me are these apps where people come and they use, like, they remove their nose and replace it with another nose. You know, there are some memes out there that say that on Judgment Day, when you lot ride into heaven, God won't even know who you are anymore. You might end up on at the other side, mate, because Amanda does not fit the Amanda that's in heaven right now. So you might be an imposter. Do you know why do that? It's too much.
Yes.
It's too much, man. It's too much.
I agree. And you're right. That's trending.
That's when you ranting. Ranting.
Thank you. And the slays. And you're right. That's the trending thing, and that's why we're having this interesting topic today. Summer is around the corner. People are hungry to get bodies tight for whatever reasons. Once again, we don't know, but yeah, they're getting ready. Get their body tight and ready for summer, because they're ready to show them. The country uses pepper them. They're ready to pepper them. So some people are doing the fast forward route to go and have their lovely surgery done in Turkey, and then you've got the other people that are in the gym 7 days a week trying to achieve that body. And I just feel like there's this competition of, I need to get done naturally to match that person that's probably doing it surgically. You know, because like you said, there's perceived look where people are not very honest about how they've done it or how they've achieved it. And they're allowing people to feel that if you just go to the gym, if you do a crash diet, you can achieve this. If you wear your waist trainer, you're going to get this image as well. And that's the deception that I don't like. But moving on swiftly, ladies. And I'll probably bring this last question later that I was going to bring forward, because I just really wanted to hear your own personal opinions and your takes on surgery as to whether or not you feel it's right or wrong, and would you personally have it. Should I ask you that now, or should I ask you that later?
It's your discretion. It's your discretion.
Before I show the botched jobs. Okay, let's do that one later, but we must tackle that question, because I think that's very important for yourselves and for the audience as to what your own personal views are, with your personal beliefs as well, bear in mind, as to whether or not you think surgery is a way forward or people should be doing it, and would you even do it yourself? Interesting question. So save that for the back of your mind. But let's have a look at some of these botched jobs, since we're talking about botchered and how surgeries have typically gone wrong, because obviously people need to really think about this before you now go and put yourself under the knife, and which doctor and physician you're going to use. And we want to show you the results of what sometimes happens when you make the decision to go and get cut up, the repercussions that can come with it later on. I think there needs to be an awareness around that, and there's not so much around that. There's the perfect side, but what about the side that's not so perfect? What about the results that come later on down the line? Because most of these things, they do have risks, and some of them higher risk, depending on who you have gone under. So let's have a look at some of these examples, and I'll throw that to you and the slaves to lead this section.
Right, guys. So as I mentioned in the beginning, if you are squirmish, if you have anyone around you that should not be seeing certain types of images, now these are not sexual images, but they do contain body parts. Now, if you're sensitive about that kind of thing, then definitely do look away. If you've got a light stomach and you throw up at literally anything, do look away. And simply, if you just don't want to see it, do look away. So yeah, we're gonna have some pics coming up now of botched jobs that have been done. So we're gonna wait on our technical guy to bring them up for you, and we're gonna be discussing these images. So yeah, put your comments in there, guys. I'm sorry to have to do this to you, but we're keeping it real, like I said from the beginning. Here are the
We always keep it real.
Yeah, we're going to be real about this stuff. We're talking about botched jobs, as I said before, not just surgery, but botched surgery. The result of taking that risk to go and get things done, to go and get enhancements more specifically done. You know, this could potentially be the result of some of them. So when we are ready, we shall have the images. So yeah, pick number one. We have, now again, forgive us for the certain level of nudity, but yeah, as you can see, this person has clearly gone to do their breast area. It looks like they've tried to enhance their hips and possibly their bum as well, I'll just say. And this is what this woman is now left with, you know, and I find it really hard to understand this, you know. I have to be real, like, as my voice is toning down, it's quite a scary thing to wake up in the morning and be looking back at this, like, oh, wow, this is a real botched job indeed. And I don't know whether or not she's happy with this. Some people are okay with it, some people are stuck with it, but I'm sad to say that this definitely looks very much botched, and it is frightening. Can we have the next picture, please? So here's another one.
Is this real?
No. Apparently this is not real.
Is it a real picture? Or is it being photoshopped? Sorry to say.
No. This is real. This is real. This is very real. And again, it's not to create a mockery of people. This is just how some individuals that have had surgery actually look now. And, you know, to me, I would consider this to be a botched job. This is not this does not look nice. You know, I'm not against surgery, like I said, but this is just not nice. You know, how can you want to see this? How can you be comfortable? How are you even coping with the weight? You know, it's just beyond. It's just beyond me. You know, it really is. Next.
Nice.
So yeah, here we have a very clear example of a botched job where it looks like the implants have ruptured or burst, split open. So yeah, you want to get, you know, big features blown up and enhanced. You know, but this could potentially be the result of that. So we really do have to be careful out here in these streets, ladies and gents, because some gents are getting this stuff done too. Next image. Yes, and to level up the playing field.
Okay.
Thoughts, ladies.
Wow, so
thoughts.
This ain't no natural muscles, yeah?
Thoughts.
This ain't no gym work. Okay, then.
Yeah, people are getting it done too. You know, they're getting their arms filled out with, I don't know what that is. I feel like poking it. We got people that get their 6-packs done as well. So implants in their what's it called? Their abdomen area to get their 6-packs in there. That's really quite, oh my gosh, weird to. God help me.
Wow.
Yeah. So I believe this one was a result of a tummy tuck. And again, it's not to ridicule this person. They've been brave enough to share their pics. I actually know someone that I went to work with who got a tummy tuck done, and it left her really in a really bad way. Her top part was left swollen, and her bottom part was really flat. So she ended up having a belly that sort of flops over from the top, and then all of a sudden it goes really in. So the person who did the job obviously didn't know what they were doing. Now for this lady here, she's actually shared her story and tagged the name of the doctor that committed this atrocity as well, which unfortunately I will not share. But if you do want to know, do drop us a message. and I will share you just in case you're considering surgery and you are worried about who to use. Next picture. Yeah,
Oh God.
the famous fish lips. This, I think, is one of the duck lips. Yeah, this is really trending at the moment, guys. And I'm sure some of you will know because you've witnessed it, you've seen it. And again, it's not just trending amongst Europeans, it's trending amongst BAME people, that's Black, I think African, I don't know what way around it is. You guys know, Black and Asian anyway. Forgive me for getting it wrong. But yeah, it's trending across the board. Like, people are going out there and getting their lips done. Whether they already have lips is not the issue. Whether their lips are already plump and full is not the issue. They are still getting work done on top of that. Now, some people might say that these people have mental health issues. I'm not a psychiatrist. I couldn't tell you. But what I do know is that people are getting them done so excessively that they are ending up like this. Some people get them done like this and still don't think that they look weird or they look unnatural to them. They just look beautiful. Have we got any more? Yeah, here's another one, another shared one of hips. This person's got their hips done, and like you can see from the very top of the thigh, you can see where it just looks painful and wrong. Again, it's sad. With clothes on or with clothes off, this is just really a lot to take in. Here's another one. This lady has got her behind done.
The behind one is the one.
It's just, it's peak out here in these streets, man. It is peak out here in these streets.
Sure is.
You know, and I don't know if she's comfortable. I don't know if she's comfortable walking around like that, but that's what she's got, and I would definitely call that botched. That is botched and a half. There's no way that she can walk around, feel normal, and not feel that people are staring at her. You know, there are individuals that have these things naturally. Huh?
It shows no bum pads under slaves.
Nah, man, that's not bum pads. That's the real things out there. That's real. What do they call them things? The implants, the silicone. It's all there. That's the real deal. That is the real deal. That's botched. That's real botched. And of course, this one is a very famous pic. Well, very famous to those of us that have been following stories of horror stories, rather, of cosmetic surgery. This is a well-known YouTuber. And yeah, wow. She got her job done in Turkey. And as you can see, if you look above her leg, you can see that there's swelling. Now, initially, and I don't want to slate this lady, it was brave of her to come forward and tell the story eventually. But the truth is, initially, when she came out, she said that she didn't have surgery done, and she was knocking another influencer that had surgery done. So of course she got hers done, and then she started to have issues with her surgery, and then she had to sort of come clean and say, look, don't go out to Turkey to get your surgery done by these people because they've had me up, you know? So ladies and gents, this is what could go wrong. Here's another influencer. She went out to Turkey, I believe, and got her things done, and you can see her back from her side. Like, wow, you can see her back from her side. It's just, and you know, unless they've got money to correct these procedures, unless they're going to get it done in the NHS if you're in the UK, unless you've got a level of compensation, God forbid, you know, you could be stuck like this for life. Quite dangerous, quite sad. And here we have a video.
Oh, wow.
This video was all over social media at one point. And this is a guy, ladies and gents. It's not just women. This is a guy out here in these streets, out here on the beach, wearing pampas. Sorry, that's got
I need to see that.
Done. And this guy's on the beach, you know, like he doesn't look uncomfortable. He's out here. He's getting himself, you know, getting a tan, taking a stroll on the beach, you know, looking all hot in the summer, hot guy summer, or whatever you want to call it. He's out there with his red panties on. His companion is not even, you know, he's probably used to it. They're just They're just living their life, living their best life, you know, walking on the street with some extraterrestrial attached to his anyway. Continue. He's even bopping. Yes, exactly. He's just doing his thing. He's just walking like every day. Here's another one. Ladies and gents, did you see that? Did you see that? It's not just women. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, man. I'm just like, that has, with, I can't even say with respect, because the respect is like, I don't want to be rude, but I'm just going to have to say it. That's transforming yourself from someone to something. Did you guys see the shoulders? The shoulders? Yeah. Like they were just standing on end, like they were frightened, like they had life within themselves. They were like two mountain peaks.
I can't believe
this is a real person. This is not a Pinocchio. This is a real boy.
BBL.
As in, that person is alive. That's a real person. That's a real person.
That's crazy.
Right now, guys, if you're squirmish, this one is a big one. The next video coming. Please do not watch this if you're squirmish. Now, this video is a video of a lady who had butt implants done, and they flipped the other way. So please, if you're finding this gross, please turn away. We got this video coming up.
Is it on record? Good. Okay. This is my implant flipping backwards.
Oh my God.
I don't think an implant's supposed to do that.
Ew.
No.
Oh my God.
Wow. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness.
Speechless.
So yeah, guys, I mean, this is as far as the videos go for the botch jobs, you know. What can we say? When we said on our flyer, botched to butchered, like this is going to require some serious work. And if she's not careful at the end of the day, she will eventually look totally butchered. The extremity of these things is that you can end up looking butchered. Now, someone said 2 for the price of 1. Oh, Dre! 2 looks for the price of 1. Flippable. You know, you can sit down flat or you can sit down plump. I don't know what you're going for today. You know, but I mean, again, we're not here to make a mockery of people. These are people that have shared their images and that want to tell their stories. You can find all of their stories on Instagram, on social media. You know, these are just a small amount of the cases out there of where people have had botched jobs done, and they are out here warning you guys, you know, that if you really, really, really want to get surgery, these are all the things that can go wrong. It is not a joke, especially if you do not have the money to reverse any of this, you know, then it's highly recommended that you don't even go ahead and do it. For example, there are fatalities as well happening on the surgical table. Now, again, I'm not saying that everyone that goes out there and gets it done dies. Of course not. That's ridiculous. You know, but these are some of the things to consider when you are getting jobs done. I think, Lady T, you mentioned that some people get their bellies done because of, you know, issues with childbirth. They can't snap back. You know, some people's the shape of their breast change. You know, they get their boobs done. They get all sorts done. Some people just don't feel like their body just isn't the same anymore, so they feel like they need to change the shape or something like that. Everyone has their various reasons for getting surgery done, but if you do get surgery done, as you've seen in the pics, be prepared that, you know, whether it's a small chance or a high chance, whether you're 1 in a million or 1 in 1,000 or 1 in 20, there's a possibility that someone out there that has had surgery done could end up with a butchered bod.
Butchered. Thank you, and the slaves. Because of the sake of time, and because I want us to tackle that last question, I want to go straight to the next one. Meanwhile, guys, you know, while Anders preparing the pictures, I want you to think about snapback bodies. You know, really and truly, is there anything like a snapback body? Like you're going from this size 18 to a size 12, somehow after having kids in the space of 6 months. Anyway, and the slaves, can you bring us up the pictures? We want our audience to tell us. I don't know if you have them. Please tell me you got them. You know, if this person.
Why do I feel like you're asking me for something I ain't got?
You got it, because you mentioned you got it. So we need to tackle that, you know, asking if this person got this body by the gym or if this is surgery. So basically, is it natural or is it surgery? And let's tackle that one.
Okay, can we have one celebrity, one well-known person? Let's have one.
And then we can get our audience to interact. So guys in the audience, tell us, do you think this is surgery, not surgery? Do you think it's natural? Can you tell the difference? Was it done in the gym? Was it maintained? I know who this person is. And should I talk about the person or do you want to talk about
it? You can. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so this is a popular, we call them our Nigerian celebrity, TV presenter-ish, but more of a radio show host. She actually has 2 kids. So, Anda, where did you take this picture? After having children or before having children?
You know what? I actually can't remember.
Okay. So, I know she definitely has 2 kids that are under 3 years old. You know, and I think she recently had one. And I'm bringing this factor in because obviously people that have children, you guys know what it's like to snap back. But I believe her youngest is 1 year old. And this is the woman. She's got she's always been known for her bodacious hips. To be honest, she's always had hips. Now, this body that she has, I believe, was taken recently because she doesn't look like she's changed much. There could be some Photoshop going on here. Well, guys in the audience, do you think it's natural or do you think that there's been some surgery enhancement done here?
Oh, we got some people saying I think she's natural. Well, yeah, I mean, again, what we're talking about is excessive surgery. So it's possible that she might be wearing a waist trainer, okay?
Yeah.
Might have brought a little bit of the body in, but more of what we're talking about are the enhanced areas, because these are the things that people tend to get done. The hip area, I want you to notice the hips. Do we think that the hips look natural? Do we think that her chest looks natural? Does it look like she's had work done? Again, we're not body shaming. I don't want you guys to go in and slaughter her. Please don't do that, you know. But we're just looking at her body and we are analyzing, is it possible for someone to have a natural body that looks like this? Or do we think, nah, man, it looks like she's got work done. She's definitely got work done.
Potentially.
Bing. Are we ready for the verdict?
Do you want to tell them or should I tell them?
Oh, we've moved on.
We've moved on already. But what was the verdict? You say it.
Okay, so for the lady that we thank you, technical guy, for bringing that back. So for this lady, her name is Tulzo, I believe. I've said that correctly.
You got it right,
man. And the slaves. Anyway, yeah. So Tulzo is, as Lady Triumph said, Lady T said, she's always been known to have quite a bodacious body. Like she's always had big hips. She's always been quite, you know, I guess she's one of them figures that some women desire to look like. Now, as I said, I don't know if she's had any work done currently, but what I do know is that what you're seeing is basically typically her. So before children, she was always known to have these big curvaceous hips, and she was quite plump on the top as well. So I don't know, you could call her one of the lucky ones, but this is more to tell you that it is possible that a woman can look like this or similar to this, and she hasn't actually had any surgery. So don't use this show to now hate on women that have big hips or big breasts or have a certain shape that is considered perfect. Women can actually look like this without any surgery. Moving on.
That's right.
Natural.
So we have another popular woman here. What do we think, ladies? Look at the size of her hips. She's got those childbearing hips. Are we saying this is natural?
Miss Rhoda, do you know this lady? Miss Rhoda, do you know her? You talk about her.
Yeah, she's a comedian from Nigeria. She's quite popular and famous. over there.
Okay.
And as far as I know, she's naturally blessed and endowed in those areas. And not only just that, but you can sort of see that her body looks more natural, so it's more in alignment. So her waist is not too small in comparison to her hips. Her waist is not thin, perfect. It's not like a size 8 on the waist and then size 2 on the hips. So she's quite proportionate. So in my opinion, I think she's she's natural.
That's right.
Yeah, she certainly is. In fact, funny enough, this picture was actually a 2-part picture. There was a before and after. I removed the after. Now she's actually decided to lose some weight. So she's come down a size or a few sizes, and she looks good. I mean, she looks very good, and I think that there's absolutely nothing wrong with her body. And I encourage anyone who's got this shape or anything similar to definitely wear it with pride. There are some women that want to look like y'all, so definitely wear it with pride. Don't get rid of your hips. Don't get rid of your bumpers. You know, you look good. And we appreciate ladies with this kind of figure. So she is all natural. Thank you very much. We got another picture.
So let the audience, what do you think of this lady? Number 3, before anybody says anything about it.
Natural, not natural, botched, butchered. What would you guys say? Someone says fake, 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 fake.
What's the tree?
An added butt. I think I can see that. Does it look like she's added something? Yeah. I'm sorry to say.
And give us a quick verdict so we can move on to the next one.
Yeah, quickly. It's botched. Not even just fake. It's botched.
Yeah,
that's it. That's the word.
Right. Fake or real?
That's a good picture, especially with our African lips. That's a good picture. Thanks, Anderslays. Audience, fake or real? These are lips.
Real, or the only way is African lips. Natural. We've got natural, natural.
Okay.
Oh, natural, y'all. Can we get one more? Real, yeah, we got, okay, you guys know already. So you guys can tell the difference then. So when someone comes up to you and they're like, hi, my name is Anderslays, you guys should be able to know because you got this one right. Now let's just analyze these beautiful lips. They're lovely, they're plump, absolutely nothing wrong with them. Would not encourage a reduction, would not encourage an enhancement. Even if your lips do not look like this, they are perfect, guys. They suit your face. Well done. We got any more?
Next photo.
I think that might be it, maybe.
That might be it.
No, there's definitely another.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, what happened to the one with the head off?
Oh, if we got the one with the head off.
We need that. If we've got it.
If not, no one.
I don't think so. No. Okay, that's fine. We'll move on.
Okay.
Let's move on. Oh, actually, I think there's just before we move on, there's just a quick comment from Susan, which I think it's important that we address. She says, I don't know how I feel about us commenting on other people's bodies, real or fake. And to be honest with you, that's a very, very valid point that you've raised. It's very true. It is a bit weird for us to comment on people's bodies. And of course, it can be seen as something that's a bit distasteful, but particularly for our show, more of what we're talking about is jobs that have been botched. And it's people who have actually shared their journeys. So we're not bringing people out to ridicule them or to say that they're silly or they look absolutely terrible. They've made the biggest mistakes of their lives. We're literally just talking about things that have already been addressed and that these people have brought to us themselves. This is also a well-known social influencer. She's been very open about her surgery. She shared the journey along the way. She shared a lot of pictures actually, which are people would consider quite intrusive and private, but she literally showed you the full 9 yards. If you are interested, definitely drop us a message and I'll share it with you. She's had her waist done and a few other things. She talks about her journey a lot. So if you are interested, definitely hit us up and we'll send you her link. Oh yes, here's another one.
So this last person, is it natural or fake? Because like somebody also said, we are raising awareness. So natural or fake in this particular one? Oh, this is a hard one to tell, guys. Yeah. Because we see a lot of this nowadays. Mm. So for those in the comments that do want to say, is it natural or fake?
Someone says natural.
Keep it coming.
I'm sitting on the fence on this one. Someone said fake. Yeah, I feel like this could definitely. It looks like, I'm not sure if that's padding or those the body magic stuff where you wear them and they like really cinch in or cling into some areas and they cause other areas to kind of pop out. I think they're called body magic. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Personally,
strikes me. Go on. No, I'll let you finish because you're on to something already. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that I don't know how I feel about me looking like this, but if this is, I guess, what people are doing nowadays, this isn't as bad as some of the ones that I've seen, or shocking rather, as some of the ones I've seen.
Yeah. My opinion would be that I think she's had some work done, although it's not a lot. But she strikes me as, or her body strikes me to be, or she strikes me as being as someone who's quite athletic already, or quite fit. So she's probably one of those who have had a bit of surgery, but at the same time, they do live a fit and healthy lifestyle. So she's probably training in the gym. Her muscle tonation looks a bit tight, so that's why it's a bit hard to tell. But if you look at the area just above her buttocks, it's a bit kind of protruding, and it doesn't look protruding in a natural sense. So I think she's probably had some work done there, and it looks good.
Yeah,
that's a summary. That's a summary of it all. So there are definitely some good ones out there indeed, and this is a good example of someone potentially that may have had surgery. But has she had surgery? Is it natural or is it fake? Because some people certainly do have natural bodies like this, and some people have fake bodies like this. But all the same, if it was surgery, it actually looks good.
Yeah,
I guess so. It's just really, really in on the waist there. It's like almost like a proper hourglass, like not hourglass figure, like a proper hourglass, in my opinion, where it like kind of pops out. Before
I mean, I think if I was brave enough, I'd go for surgery, but I'm not the type. I like a challenge. So for me, surgery isn't an option. I like to challenge myself.
Hold on. We're getting to that.
Get ahead of time. Sorry, the minutes are cutting away.
It's fast forwarded. But anyway, thank you, and the slaves for those examples. Thank you for those that have been commenting along. Thank you for those that had your personal opinions. I can see some people are headstrong there. Some people might have been taking it the wrong way. Some people may have been taking it the right way. I wonder why you would take it the wrong way. Maybe because you're considering surgery. And we're not here, like I said, to tell you, or like Anders said, to tell you that there's anything wrong with surgery, because you're going to soon hear our own personal opinions anyway. What we are telling you about is the jobs that go wrong, the botched jobs, the butchered jobs, which you've shown you examples of. We're also telling you about being aware of those people that deceive you online to make it look like they had surgery when truly they haven't, so that you don't feel the pressure to feel that I need to look a certain way and maybe go under the knife because I want to look like that, or I need to pressure myself naturally because maybe I eat too much. I eat too damn much, so I'm going to go on a juice diet and literally starve myself and eat no carbs and all sorts of things. Wear a waist trainer, sleep with my waist trainer, literally hold my breath so I almost feel like I'm going to die, like I tried to attempt many times, and nothing ain't going to happen, and I'm still going to have a bulge at the end of the day. So we want to tell you the realities of it, that everybody's body is different. So most people that even try to do it naturally won't necessarily shift a little, even a slight bit of weight. Some people can burn so much weight if they work hard and they go to the gym and they starve themselves literally. Some people will follow the same tactic and nothing will happen. So some of what we see, especially on social media, and we're talking about it because it is it's awareness, because this is what we see. We see it all the time, especially if you use Instagram a lot. Those that use Instagram a lot, Twitter, whatever you use, even Facebook, you will see it's trending a lot, and a lot of it is by deception. Now, if you do surgery and you come out and you say, I've done surgery and there ain't nothing wrong with it, this is me, this is who I am, and I love the way it looks on me, kudos, then we know that, yes, we sometimes we need to go through that route to look that certain way. But please do not come out and tell us that, yes, this is surgery and I look this way because I did it naturally, when you didn't, because you're deceiving a lot of women, you're deceiving a lot of young girls that are aspiring to look a certain way because of you, whatever. So that's why the whole purpose of why we're doing this. But by all means, if you want to do surgery, like I said, we're not holding you by your legs, we're not carving you down, or carving your legs with chin. Go and do what you have to do to look the way you want to look, and be pleased with that and be confident in it. But at the same time, we're letting you also aware that be careful of who you put your body in the hands of, because sometimes it can go entirely wrong. Also be aware that there are risks to these things. What glitters and what looks good is not necessarily gold for the long term. It might look good for the short term, but for the long term, it may not be goals. So of course, that is what we are raising awareness of here tonight. So the final question for us to round up with, because we're going to close very soon, I just want to hear the personal views of my sisters here, and you'll hear my personal view too. Maybe I'll go first. What's your personal views in the stance of what you believe? Is there anything wrong with getting surgery done to alter your body? Is there anything wrong with actually getting surgery done? In the summary of what we've all spoken about, the butchered jobs, and obviously people that are going to do it, even if they're doing it for whatever reason they're doing it, is there actually anything wrong with altering your body if you really want to alter it? Does it really mean because I'm altering it, I'm actually insecure? Does it really mean that? Do I have the right to alter my body if I want to? Well, let me go first. So guys, have I thought about having surgery before? I certainly have, because I just like the easy way out regardless. And I love to eat. I can't just train myself and go completely cold turkey and become a vegan. It's just not going to happen. I like my meat. I like my chicken. I might be able to do it for a short and certain time, but ain't no vegan lifestyle up in here. So there'll be a time in my life where I may have to consider having surgery. And it's not because I'm not confident in who I am. I would like to think that you guys think I am confident to some extent. It's because there's just certain things that I know, the way I put on weight, that in the future, for example, when I have my children and everything, I may not necessarily be able to get rid of certain fats in certain areas. And I am not going to want to have the belly bulge. I am not going to want to stay a size 22 all my life, and I could do everything that it takes, because I do have the stubborn body that sometimes it's hard to lose weight in the right areas. And I do want to have a belly, and no, I don't want to have a belly, God forbid. I do want to have the belly trimmed. So I will consider having surgery after I probably had kids. I wouldn't do it now because it'll be pointless. Because when I have children, God willing, when it happens, the bulge is going to come out. So it's like, almost, I paid for nothing. But when I've done that and I'm like, I'm done, it's sealed, it's done, I will consider going under the knife to put things in place. That's the if it's not shifting naturally by me going to the gym or me starving myself literally. So I will do all my best, do my intermittent fasting to cut out the carbs, to cut out the juices and the sugars that they all tell you to do, to go to the gym for maybe a year or so. And if it ain't shifting, like we know some weights do not shift, sometimes the pounds really don't drop. Sometimes the kg don't drop. I may strongly consider going to get my surgery done, but will I do it in Turkey just to make you laugh? Maybe not Turkey. I might do it in LA. I might be rich enough to go to LA and do it with the celebrity ones. I know there's a proper track record, not someone that's just going to create their profile randomly with random people. No. So that's me. So
okay, I'm going to jump in next. Yeah, for me, I have no qualms about people wanting to get surgery to enhance their body or just to bring things into proportion. I think the issue that we're probably trying to raise awareness of, and which is in alignment to what I believe, is when you are trying to pass over like you did it naturally, or you're trying to convince people that you achieved this by going to the gym and having a fit and healthy lifestyle, when in actual fact you went to get surgery. I think that's where the bigger issue is. And so in saying that, I would just probably say that people need to be careful, especially young women, young girls coming up. The idea of beauty is pushed out there, where you have to have a figure eight and have a small nose and big lips, and these things are not an ideal standard of beauty, because it doesn't fit every ethnicity. It's not realistic. That standard of beauty that's being put out there is not realistic, and there is beauty in diversity. If we have everybody looking the same, it's just boring, and it's just like, that's not how God made the world. God is a creative and artistic being. He created different kinds of flowers, different kind of species, and so much so for human beings as well. And I feel like, there's one thing getting surgery and there's one thing playing God. And I think when you're going into surgery to completely look deformed and no longer human, that's where the dangerous, territory is. And so, yes, there's getting surgery, but how much surgery, can you possibly get where you're sort of veering away from what is natural? Now, if you're doing things to sculpt and enhance and look, look nice, then fine. But when you're verging on extreme, like dysmorphia, and deforming your body, then that's where I think the issue is. And I think they should be having some sort of like mental health screening for people who are going to have surgery, just to see if you're all right completely up there before you do surgery. Because from the cases that we've seen today, you can see that a lot of them are quite, they're butchered. This is the word. They're deformed, and so we need to be careful about that. And what you see online, what you see on social media, is not exactly what's going on in reality. They always show you the finished product. They don't show you the complete process of how they got there. So I think for me, my message here would be for people to be mindful. We're not saying not to get surgery. Myself, I'm not one for needles or knives or stuff like that. I'm quite squeamish with that. So for me, I wouldn't want to get surgery. I would do my utmost best to challenge myself to get the body that I want. But worst case scenario, just like what Lady T said, I may consider surgery, but I that would be the most extreme, like worst case scenario. But just to round things up, if you're going to get surgery, great, but just do your research. Make sure that the person that you're going to is well qualified and has great reviews, and it's a company that you've researched thoroughly into. Don't cut any slacks with surgery. Don't get a buy one get two offer, because if it looks
like what we saw,
if it looks too good, if it sounds too good,
flip bomb, out bomb,
it most likely is a bit suspect. So I mean, when it comes to your body, you need to be really careful, man. You can't go on the cheap. That's your health. And the one thing I will say to round up is that, when you're doing it the natural way, not only are you, benefit in one way in terms that your physical appearance looks good, but your health is even more important, because you could look good on the outside, but on the inside, you're 25, but your inside is like a 45-year-old or 50-year-old or 60-year-old. So that's the plus with doing it naturally, is that you're working on your physical health as well as looking good on the outside. So bear that in mind.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll go, I guess. So today you've seen the good, the bad, and the ultimate ugly when it comes to surgery. And of course, the ultimate ugly was the butchered ones. Now, personally, where do I stand? I don't think that there's anything wrong with anyone that wants to get surgery, as long as you can afford it. And when I say as long as you can afford it, I don't mean your special turkey prices. I mean, like, sorry, Turkey, we're really throwing things at you today. But I mean, as long as you can afford a good surgeon with good quality, good reputation, then yeah, by all means, go ahead and do whatever you need to do. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, you won't find me there. And you won't find me there because I don't like stuff I don't like putting my body through unnecessary pain. And to me, it's unnecessary, because a couple of years down the line, we're going to need to get those implants changed. That means going down the knife again. That means having those same risks again. And I don't know. I just can't. It's too much for me. It's just too much. It would just be too traumatic for me. So because of that, and also because I also prefer the natural way. I've had only one child, thank God. Pregnancy went well, everything went well, and I put on weight, you know, and I ballooned and all of that, whatever you want to say. My body went downhill or whatever you want to call it. But I worked on it, and I was able. I think I was even slimmer than what I was before I got pregnant. So you know, it can be done. You can lose the pregnancy weight. It takes a little bit of effort. You know, it can be done. Now I've put on weight again after losing the pregnancy weight, and it even seems harder to lose that weight. But exactly, COVID weight. There you go. But you know, such is life. Just I believe that I've done it before. I can do it again. So you know, I believe in hard work. I believe in applying the pressure. But at the same time, I've learned to love my body at the size that I am. I didn't want to believe it that that's the size I was because of the stigma attached to it. But nowadays, I look in the mirror and I'm beginning to like what I see. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
No,
But
no,
yes.
I just read Ingrid's comment and I just thought to myself, God, this woman. So she just threw me off. I'm so sorry. I want to find this. Take that fat from my belly and put it into my boobs. Okay.
You know, I actually felt like that once. But yeah, like I was saying, nowadays I shop for my size. Like when I go out, when I want to get dressed, I dress up in a way that's gonna make me look good at the size that I'm at. You know, so don't worry too much about you comparing yourself to other people that have had work done or people who have lost a drastic amount of weight. You can still look good. Dress for your size. Buy clothes for your size. Stunt for your size, and you can still look good. So yeah, for me, I would say no for the surgery because of the risks involved, because of how those butchered and botched jobs look, and because I've learned how to appreciate Amanda at this size.
That's good. So you're embracing the natural.
Yeah.
So to speak. Which is
good.
You
know,
and
Lady T, before we move on, I want to know what the audience think about a possible next topic, yeah, because I know we're heading towards the end now. Should we round this up with doing the next live rather, being on filters and Photoshop? Because people have mentioned that in the comments today about people using Photoshop and using all these apps to bring their waist in and pop out their booties. So should we round this up by talking about Photoshopping and using apps to make yourself look completely different to what you actually look like? Can we round off this whole thing with that? Let's see.
Yeah, well, if they want to, why not? I definitely think
skin
that it
bleaching.
could be part two. Yeah, there's so many. There are so many things. Okay, people are saying yes, so that's a good thing because there are extensions to this thing. And you're right, the photoshopping, the apps that people use, the bleaching that people have feel the necessary. Oh, I think that's a big one.
Yeah, it becomes catfishing. That's catfishing.
The necessary need to bleach your skin when you're naturally dark and beautiful, which is also being embraced now. So why do you feel that you need to be lighter to be accepted? But we know that's a cultural thing, so that's a whole discussion as well that can come in line with that. So we can definitely talk about that light skin, dark skin thing too going on there. But yeah, if people are saying yes, well, they're saying absolutely yes.
Do it.
Absolutely. Then there'll be a part two in that area. There'll definitely be a part two in that area. But yeah, thank you, Anders Stays. I'm for that, all for that, and I do believe it's just social media. That's all I will say, and I was just going to say that it's social media. I was going to say I do believe that people should embrace the natural. I do believe that people should, love who they are, love themselves for how they feel and everything. But even myself, like I said, and that's just me being very, very honest. It's probably because of the image that I see and the image that I would love to feel and look like. But otherwise, I probably would not have cared. If there was no social media in this life, then we probably wouldn't even know how certain bodies
wouldn't even
having
care.
the pressure of having the pressure upon us of how we should be looking, if that makes sense, to be accepted or to be valued or to be admired. Because everybody likes to be admired, so to speak, one way or the other. Then women won't be having unnecessarily pressure to feel that they have to go out there and look a certain way and feel a certain way. But because of the pressure of social media, as well as the society, which we naturally have always had, now we have media on top that, you know, constantly carrying people's images around, saying this woman looks good, this woman looks ugly, which is so sad, you know, that people can't just be embraced for truly how they are, because we were just created in the image of God, and this is how God has formed us naturally. Why don't we embrace it and accept it? But unfortunately, we are in a society that just affects us in so many ways. It affects us in our job line as well. Even when we go for work, you have to look a certain way, dress a certain way, have a certain hair look for some jobs, have a certain image, have a certain fitness level. In certain areas, you have to be packaging well. Why sometimes you won't even get the job. For example, film industry, music industry, so big on image and appearance. You know, sometimes even just on ordinary jobs, you know, your fashion jobs, you have to look a certain way, you know, to even in order to get that job, you can't, you know, you can't be too big, you can't be too slim. You know, it's constantly changing. And that's, for example, Khloe Kardashian was big news that was literally thrown in our faces. If you don't know about it, most people would have heard about it because it was everywhere. But look how that was blown out of context just because she had a natural picture out of her natural look that she would look on it every day.
Yeah, but let's be real though, Lady T.
Or Photoshop.
Lady T. That natural look, I don't know what she meant by that, because we all know that they've had work done. So just because you chose not to use Photoshop today does not mean that your pic is natural. Please, I beg. Don't let people, let's not be confused, because that family are advocates for plastic surgery, not knocking them. You know, not all of them have had a lot of work done, but the majority of them have had work done, and they're quite open about it. And I think that, let's be clear, just because you didn't use a filter today does not mean that that is the real you, because in a few years' time you're gonna need to get your nose redone, or your hips redone, or your bum redone, or your redone, or something else redone.
And that's the thing, it always starts from one place and then it leads on to many other areas that you want to touch. So for example, someone will do their breast and all of a sudden they now want to do their waist. And they're like, okay, my waist is no more the 8 that I thought it was. It's now gone to 16. I need to go and redo it again, enhance it further. Then before you know it, it's now saying, oh, okay, I need to do my bum and my hips, because you want everything to be in proportion, a certain measure, a certain type of perfection. But for who? And at the end of the day, I don't blame people, because I know the society we're in. I know the pressure that women go under when it comes to image. Even the family that you raise, they're probably under a high image pressure, because at the end of the day, that's where they're making their money from people that are clicking, looking, admiring them, for how they look like, people following them simply because of what they look like. And that's how they get their business booming, because obviously they need the followers, they need the audience to purchase the next level of their business. But they know that image is important for attracting people. And that's the kind of world we live in. We are living in a world where attraction matters. I mean, another topic we need to tackle, Anda, is all about this natural look. Now, remember, there was this trend thing about, oh, why don't people wear natural hair? Why do people wear wigs and weaves? You know, why are people so all about that? Why they're not proud? Why are Black women not proud of carrying their natural look, their natural hair? Why do they have to wear makeup? Why do they have to wear lashes? Why don't they carry themselves and be naturally beautiful? But the truth of the matter is, once again, about image and attraction, how many men are going to look at women like that? There'll be some.
In fact, that's a very good topic. Very good topic.
But let's not go into the topic. You're right. Because that's a big topic as well. You know, we're told about how we should come as we are, look natural. But at the end of the day, you know, women, people, obviously, let's be real. People are looking for a man. People are looking to be settled. People are looking to be attractive for that guy. And that guy is telling you to look a certain way. But at the same time, you know, he ain't accepting you your natural appearance. But yeah, he's telling you should carry yourself natural. But by the time he sees that you've got your natural tough hair, your rock hard hair, that is in all sorts of places, and sometimes we may not have our edges, is he going to accept you for looking like that? Most times, they're looking for the one that has had a job where their waist is like a size 8, looking like an hourglass, and they're looking for the one that has a long weave that they know that changes it every single week. But yet they're attracted to that one. But are they really attracted to one like the film says, carrying their nappy hair, or the one that doesn't wear any makeup and comes as they are? No. I'll show some.
Yeah, we need to talk about this. That needs to definitely. You see, I think we should do it like this. We'll do catfish pictures. I don't know what we're going to call it, but we'll definitely do the catfish one. And then we should top it up with the beauty standards, especially according to dating. I think that's a very good idea. Since we're on the subject of images or imaging or image, then yeah, we should definitely link it to dating as well, because as we would all agree, or the majority of us would agree, that part of the pressures come from being accepted by the opposite sex. You know, sadly, this is the case. Some women actually do get it done, do get jobs done, and some men do get jobs done simply because they want to be seen as attractive to the opposite sex. It's not just all the other things. But then, of course, like Lady T, you said, sometimes it's, you know, they're going for a job interview, and they don't want to see that they don't want people to see that their hair is thinning, or they don't want people to see that they've got kinky textured hair. You know, there are so many pressures. Even, to be fair, if we're gonna be completely honest, not even just Afro-Caribbean or Afro-American or African, even with Asians, even with our European brothers and sisters, even with our white brothers and sisters as well, everyone has these complexes, these weird image issues that we just can't seem to get our heads around. And I think someone mentioned it affecting the younger generation. Like, all the things that we cared about when we were younger are like, they're not even touching the surface to what the younger generation, the pressures that they're on at the moment now. Whether you're white, black, Asian, whatever you are, you've got a level of pressure on you at the moment. And, you know, it's something that we definitely need to tackle. We need to tackle it in terms of discussing surgery and the risks of surgery. We need to tackle it in terms of photoshopping and being a catfish, making yourself look completely different when you look another way just to get the attention of the opposite sex. And we also need to talk about it in terms of what the expectations should be when you're dating. Should you have yourself made up all the time? Is it right that you expect your spouse, your partner, the person you're dating or want to date to be made up all the time? How realistic is it? These are all things we need to talk about, definitely.
It's a big one. It's a big one. Thank you. Thank you, and the slaves. And thank you to our audience.
Yes,
for
thank you,
another
guys.
nice time on a Saturday evening. We will be back in 2 weeks' time to definitely tackle those areas. So while we're seeing it like a
100.
part 2 almost,
Yes.
isn't it? But yeah, as you guys have said yes to the filters and the changing of images and the apps and all that kind of stuff, yeah, we will go there. And the skin lightening cream and all sorts of things. So yep, in part 2, we will bring that to the floor. But thank you once again for all your comments. Thank you for your engagement. I can see that a lot of people were engaging in this. Well, maybe they really like this topic because they know that it's a common thing, and maybe some of them have strongly been considering it as well. And they wanted to hear about it from the perspective, I guess, from Christian women as well. And that stance of things and beliefs, we know that there's nothing wrong with that. God has not said that you can't go and enhance your body if you don't want to, but we're just saying if you're going to do it, I guess do it in moderation.
Right.
In all things, in moderation, you know, and don't go over the top, because sometimes you can become causing more harm than good.
Yes.
So
exactly.
thank you to our audience, and thank you.
Thank you, guys. We love you so much. Thank you, Lady T. We love you guys. Have an amazing weekend. Catch you in 2 weeks. All the best. Take care. Stay safe. Bye.
I gotta tell you something I could do.